Hi, my name is Ryan Wolf, and this is my presentation for understanding the brain. And my topic is empathy. So, for a little bit of background before I start, because it'll help explain my choice for this topic and everything. Um, I work in the aerospace and defense industry. I work for a company called McDonnell Douglas Helicopters, and we make what is formerly known as a Little Bird helicopter, but we call it the MD models. And I mainly deal with both commercial and military stuff doing that for them. And I specifically am a buyer for them, so I end up buying parts and talking to suppliers. So, the reason why I'm interested in this topic is for several reasons. The first one is that I feel that empathy is a critical part of making good business choices. And a lot of this comes from my own situation and experiences I have with work, where I've been given a lack of empathy because of stuff that's been out of my control or stuff that's happened in the past in my company, or in some situations, I've given other companies too much empathy with them having issues down the line that's come back to impact us. So, according to psychologists, empathy is the super glue that connects people and bolsters cooperation and kindness. And I got that from one of my resources. And it includes three key elements, which are cognitive empathy, emotional empathy, and compassionate empathy, which is understanding, feeling, and taking action. And in my findings when I was doing research, I found that people are neurobiologically grounded uh, to feel empathy, and it's called inner imitation. And people basically subconsciously mimic like mannerisms, gestures, and postures of people around them, and it's kind of like a learned thing you learn as you're growing up. And just a cool little fun fact I found was that high levels of stress, jobs with high levels of stress, just like medical training and like being someone in the army, you can have a decline in empathy. Some of the challenges with empathy, it can lead to burnout and emotional fatigue. And that, in addition to that, you can just reduce your empathy. And you're more subject to be biased towards something, whether it's conscious or unconscious, which will give you a limited empathetic response. And also overexposure to people and like their different struggles can also desensitize you. So as I kind of put on before, empathy is teachable. So a lot of research has been shows that you can teach it and also measure empathy. There's a lot of training programs to improve empathy, so for people who become desensitized to it. And this is in healthcare, education, and leadership. And it's just not an instinctive skill, it's something they have to actually practice, and you grow as you practice it. Interactions. So empathy shapes the way that people interact with families, schools, and workplaces and communities. And kind of relating to our class, I found that active listening, conflict resolution, and trust building are all part of those interactions with empathy. I also found that in certain interactions, that a lack of empathy can lead to miscommunications and social bias. And empathy is also shown to improve outcomes in workplace collaborations, and also in school environments. So its impact on my field of interest. So as I kind of put on before, I work in supply chain management, but more specifically purchasing, repair, purchasing, and overhaul. So I deal with a lot of upset people because their helicopters are broken, and upset governments because their helicopters are broken. So I have to be pretty empathetic towards them and their leadership to get customer satisfaction and keep those relationships happy. But that also goes with our suppliers. If you're not making your supplier happy, they're not going to do work for you. So it affects the decision making on both ends of the scale on that. And just understanding other people's perspectives can help negotiations when you're discussing terms for payment or purchasing, anything like that. And it just helps, especially when you have some kind of crisis. It helps manage it a lot better if you get empathy of where someone's coming from. And what I think other people should know about empathy is that it helps build professional relationships that are inclusive, responsive, and it helps develop resilient systems. Especially in my field, it really leads to stronger supplier relationships, better teamwork, and just ethical decision making, which is overall good, especially when you're sometimes making stuff that's not doing such great stuff to people at the end of the day. And empathy just creates a more humane and effective workplace to society, in my opinion. And how I can use these findings, I'm just going to start to implement it into my work. I'm going to try and understand where people come from, especially in high pressure environments like I work in, with especially the logistics and operations part of it. Just empathy can help eliminate a lot of different issues. And just learning about empathy will help me grow as a better communicator and leader in my future. That's all I have. Thank you for listening, and these are my references.